So today is a very exciting day. We're finally gonna get, would you say everything done today, Javi? Everything done today on the STI. Javi has already started getting the radiator out. I thought I drained all the coolant out, but I guess it still had a little bit in there. What are we starting first, Javi?
First, I'm gonna knock out the cam seals and the timing, since that's the most time consuming one. After that, oil cooler, gasket, and then the turbo, and then
should be it.
Yeah.
For me, it's like all challenging, but Javi's done this so many times that it's pretty easy at this point for him. Getting the radiator out would have probably took me like an hour, hour and a half, and it just took Javi like 5 minutes.
The Mishimoto when you bought it?
Yeah, that one came with it. No way, bro. What? That's crazy. There's a little mouse in there.
That's a fucking
underneath
rat.
the cover.
Coronavirus. Dude, it's all stiff. Ah, it's all stiff and shit.
Oh yeah, dude. It's like stuck in there. You see that? So there's the whole cover, and there's the timing belt. Dude, that was quick.
Once you do them for so long, it's like second nature.
How long did you guys take to put that Forester engine?
A day.
Like a day, huh? I remember seeing it down, and then the next day it was like back up and running. Yeah. That's crazy, guys.
I'm pushing the pin in back on the tensioner. I usually have a vice grip at the shop, but we kind of
improvised.
Yeah, with C-clamp and then a punch. It keeps the belt tension when it's moving, but when you push it down, it gives you some kind of wiggle room so you can line everything up. And then once everything's lined up, you pull the pin and then.
Oh, okay. So Javi believes that this cam seal was the one that was leaking, and since we're already in here, we decided it was best to do all four, huh? Yeah. So that's the old one, that's the new one. Javi just got the first one done. He's just gonna torque that down, and then there's 3 cam seals left, and then 1 crank seal. Ran into a bit of an issue. You guys look closely right here. I don't know if you can see it, but 2 little teeth broke off of this. So Javi's gonna see if he maybe has an extra one
at the shop. We're
not gonna let that stop us, or stop Javi, I guess. Huh? He's gonna move on to the 2 other cam seals, and then we'll see if he can source out another one. So all the cam seals are done. The next thing we're gonna move on to is the oil cooler gasket. And what does that do, Javi?
So this thing right here, and it runs coolant through it, so it kind of helps cool down the oil a little bit. But it's got a gasket that meets to the block, and that's why it's all.
How would you say, is that pretty hard to do?
That's actually pretty easy.
Yeah.
It's like you just gotta take off 2 hoses and pull the oil filter off, and then 1 big bolt that holds the oil filter, and it comes right.
Just comes right off.
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
Kind of, you won't be able to see it in the camera, but the clamp that holds this cooling hose is facing up. So I gotta find a way to twist it so I can
pinch it this way?
Yeah, pinch it this way.
Is there oil still in it?
Yeah. There's always oil in there. But it's not.
It's funny, I was talking to Javi about this tool right here. It's for your oil filter, but we used to use this to lower our coilovers when we didn't have spanner wrenches. So ghetto, dude.
Yeah, you gotta do what you gotta do.
Huh.
Yeah.
It worked.
Because at some point I lost my spanner wrenches for my Fortunato. So I used a hammer and a
screwdriver. With all of the oil leaks getting fixed today, along with the new turbo going in, hopefully, fingers crossed, the oil consumption problem goes away. We think that it was probably all of that was causing all the oil consumption, because I was telling Javi that I would go like a week. Every time I put gas, I'd be missing like a quart of oil. And it'd get so bad sometimes. I would go do an oil change and I'd fill up like 1 quart of oil. Like it was that bad, dude.
Yeah, definitely I'm sure the biggest issue was your turbo.
Burning the oil?
How bad it was burning the oil. Obviously the leaks too, and
wasn't helping that.
Yeah. So with all that fixed, it should definitely either get rid of it or drop it down to the point where you don't really notice it.
Yeah.
Because it's a Subaru, so they do leak oil. They...
So this whole thing is the oil cooler?
Yeah, this is the oil cooler.
And that's
This is the O-ring, and that's what sits on the block. And then it's got this bolt here. It goes through here and it sits on the block. And this seals it from the block, from the oil. And then here the coolant goes through, and it kind of just circles around here to cool, help cool the oil down.
Oil cooler gasket is officially done. That didn't take too long. Now we're gonna move on to the turbo. So this is the new one, and if you guys remember, I had trouble getting this in. I'm sure Javi won't have any trouble at all. Hopefully.
It could still be a pain, but we'll get it.
But yeah, we're gonna get that back in there, and then try and hook up as much of this as we can.
Kind of have to finesse it.
So this is the part I was struggling the most with because you have to line it up.
I get the oil return hose first, then you gotta feed it into the turbo inlet, and then you gotta mess with the studs. So it can be a pain, but it's kind of what usually makes me mad. It's this. Try not to use one like this, because you might puncture the turbo inlet. But if you're really careful, you can get away with it. See, it just makes that lip, and then it makes it hard to.
Yes. Finally, dude.
It's in there.
The turbo's officially on. I think it's on everything, right?
Yeah.
Studs and everything.
Studs are in. Oil returns in.
No?
No, the oil return line tweaked on me.
False alarm, guys. False alarm. Almost, though.
Everything.
Now it's officially on.
Yep, oil returns in. Inlet's in. Studs are in.
Dude, hell yeah, Javi. I'm stoked, dude. I've had this turbo out for almost 2 months now. And just to finally see the new one go back in, it just makes me super happy. And I couldn't have done it without Javi. Actually, more like Javi couldn't have done it without Javi, huh? Because I didn't do anything. Moral support.
Moral support. Sometimes that's all you need.
Just finished up routing all of the lines from the AOS. Took us a while to kind of figure out where everything went, but we think we got everything in the right spot. And then the last thing to do on the turbo side of things would be to connect both the boost lines to the turbo. We're not going to be throwing the downpipe on today. I still got to order a new gasket for that. I also got to get 2 new nuts because I stripped the old ones pretty bad. And then once we get all that ordered and thrown on, we'll be able to throw the top mount intercooler back on. As far as the turbo though, all that's pretty much good to go. This is Javi's daily. This is goals, dude. To have just a Forester for a daily. I'd want that.
Yeah, I bought this thing off of Ruben.
Oh yeah, this used to be Ruben's car. Yeah. Javi's brother's.
He did all the cool stuff.
Alright, so Javi's taking off. We'll see him next Sunday.
Yep.
Thanks for the help, dude.
No problem.
See you next week to finish all that up.
Sounds good.
I'm so stoked with everything that got done today. The turbo is in, all the cam seals are replaced, crankshaft seal is replaced, oil cooler gasket is replaced, the AOS is all hooked up, all the boost lines are in. This car should be 100% leak free after today. Fortunately, it's a Subaru, so we know this won't be the last of the leaks, but at least for now, everything is fixed. But I am super happy that we finally took care of all of the maintenance issues. For those of you who know, I put this off for the longest time. I've had this car for 3 years. I knew of these maintenance issues and I just kind of ignored them and didn't take care of them. A lot of people ask if Subarus are unreliable, and they're unreliable like this. If you're like me and you ignore stuff, it's gonna eventually bite you in the ass. So if anything, I've learned something out of all of this. Guys, maintenance, maintenance, maintenance. Take care of your maintenance and your car will be okay. The good thing is that I learned a lot out of all these experiences that I've been through with this car, and maintenance is something that I will never put off. It'll always come first. If there's a maintenance issue with this car, it's going to be a priority and it's going to be fixed before anything else. I think later this week, I want to try and get the engine bay all cleaned up because it is super filthy right now. I think I'm really going to spend some time to get everything cleaned up and try and get into like these small areas right here, because everywhere you look in this engine bay, It is literally filthy. I hope all of you guys are excited. We are one step closer to getting this thing back on the dyno and just back on the streets. All of you guys know that we just need to drive this car. Do me a favor, guys, head over to Javi's Instagram and give him a follow. Honestly, all of this wouldn't have been done without him. So Javi, thank you, bro, for coming out. If you guys enjoyed this video, make sure you give it a thumbs up and subscribe if you haven't already. See you guys in the next one. Peace out.